Welcome to our weekly Sunday reading reflection called The Summit. We're excited to have you here with us while we break open the gospel today. The gospel today is from John chapter 9, verses 1 through 41. And we see, it's a really long gospel, but we see Jesus coming to the temple, coming to the gates of the temple with the disciples, and there's a blind man sitting there. And as the blind man's sitting there, Jesus walks by and he starts to talk to him, starts to converse with him. And the question is what did this guy do to deserve this? What did his parents do to deserve this? And Jesus said, no, he didn't deserve any of this. His parents didn't do anything, but God allowed this to happen so his miracles could be worked through him. And so we see him bend down, pick up some mud, rub it in his eyes, and he's healed. And then we go on to see this man get up and go and start telling people. And the Jewish people are very hesitant. They don't believe him. They don't believe that he was ever blind. They don't believe that he was ever had any issues or any problems. He was lying about this. And Jesus comes back in towards the end of the gospel and really comes in and says, this is what you should be believing in. Like, do you not believe that I'm the Son of Man? He's talking to this blind man and the people around him. And one part of the scripture that really stands out is towards the end. It says, Jesus says, "For judgment I came into this world, that those who do not see may see, and those who see may become blind." And so we're going to kind of go over some thoughts that we have, Evan and myself, about what does this gospel mean? What is this? How is this broken open? How is this made new to us today?
So I think, especially during this time, we could be the blind man. We could be not able to see what's happening. We don't know the future. We could put ourselves in the shoes of the blind man and calling on Jesus, or even being like everybody else and asking why us? Why is this happening to us right now? And I think in that moment, we need to have a desire to pray more, but a desire of healing for us, for our families, for those affected by all of this. And let us truly be that blind man, and as he desired to be healed and to see, allow us to have that same want and that same drive to see and to cling to God right now, that he knows the future and that he has his plan for us.
And I think it's really important to what Evan's saying is this healing and for it to go beyond the coronavirus, because while that's a big prevalent thing, not all of us have the coronavirus, and we all need healing in some way. And so I think it's really, really important for us to do that. And we need to understand too, we see in this gospel, the Jewish people come up and say, we don't believe that you were healed. We don't believe you were healed. We don't believe that there was anything ever wrong with you. And they even go to his parents. They even go to his parents and say, "Is this your son? Like, was he blind?" Like, that's how much they don't believe him. They drag him to his parents. And I think it's important for us to understand that there's going to be people in our lives that tell us, "Hey, I don't believe that your God can heal. Hey, I don't believe in this. Like, this is a fairy tale. This is too much for us to understand, and for us to this is too much for us." And the reality of this is that our belief does not require other people to believe for it to work. Our belief in God's healing and God's mercy and God's providence does not require everybody in the world. It just requires ourselves to believe. And that's really important for us to understand.
I think too, also during this time, allow God to work in your life and the lives of your family, those that you're around. I know we're in a way social distancing, but you're social distancing from your family, and allow God to open up your eyes maybe to see what's going on in your life, especially during this time with all of this going on, but even more so during Lent too. And I think that's why we are given this reading during Lent and during this time, so we could open up our eyes to see what God is calling us to do, and to be like, just like the blind man, he wanted his eyes open to see, to live. And there's something that we may not be physically blind, but there's something in us all that we can't see that God is asking us to open up to see, and maybe we're keeping it away from God. And now is a moment to dive into that, to open up God, to be like the blind man and invite God in to open up whatever is keeping us from truly loving Him, and like Ryan said, to go deeper in this past the coronavirus and into our lives right now.
So we're going to have discussion questions in the description below, so definitely check those out. Be doing that with your family. Listen, if you did not watch Mass earlier, go watch Mass after this. It's so important. If we can't be there if we can't be there physically, let's be there virtually. All right. This is such an awesome opportunity for us to make an act of spiritual communion, which we'll talk a little bit about next week, and have this opportunity to dive into the Mass in a new and different way. You're already on your phones anyways. You're already on social media anyways. So take advantage of going to Mass through social media. We appreciate you being here with us. Be sure to join us on Wednesday at 3 p.m. for our Unleashed series on hope. Thank you, and God bless.